I believe we're doing so many festivals this year, and it's like and we did like Coachella and stuff like that. So it still feels surreal. 아직 안 믿겨진다고 해야 되나? But on top of that, we're preparing so much. 사실 not just albums. We're preparing new content for fans. So it's 뭐라 해야 되지? It's not just an album that we're going to be announcing. We're going to be announcing so many more new projects, new content, just new what do you call it? New lanes. Got I think what we want to really do is start showing everyone the the universe, the DPR universe, a little bit more in detail for the fans. So 약간 이거 뭐라 해야 되지? Again 그 세계관을 좀 더 저희가 더 뚜렷하게 약간 보여주려고 해요. 그래서 그거에 관한 콘텐츠가 되게 많이 나올 거예요. 그러니까 그게 앨범뿐만 아니라 그냥 유튜브 콘텐츠 같은 것도 많이 나오고 constantly trying to come up with different types of ways to let the dreamers and everyone be more involved in our universe. So first of all, I think the next album for me, 다음 앨범 이게 왔다 갔다 하면서 할게요 이렇게. So the next album, it's a lot of people think it's Mitre 3, but it's if I 이 얘기를 해도 되나 정말? It's
해주세요.
해주세요.
I believe Mitre to be like the main storyline 1, 2, 3. 사실 I didn't release part 2 yet, but 이제 part 2를 안 내긴 했지만 그게 나중에 이제 나올 거예요. 근데 그 part 2 is gonna come out later. However, this next album is a deep dive into a different character. Not different, but into Insanity's world. So it's going to be very like if you saw Mida's world, when you see Insanity's world, it's a different, very 어떻게 설명해야 되죠? It's just gonna be eccentric. I don't know how to explain it. Insanity's concept, Insanity's color and genre. It's all gonna be a little different from Mida, but yeah, it'll be very interesting because you'll see how Insanity created Mida. 그러니까 세계관에서는 그 Insanity라는 자가 마이토를 만들었어요. 원래는. 그러니까 마이토를 뭐라 해야 되죠? 그러니까
창조자?
네네네. 약간 인세니티가 신이면 이 세계관에선 그 많은 이안들부터 만들어가지고 뭐 So Beautiful, No Blueberries, Scaredy Cat. Yeah, but he made Mito. So you're gonna see where Mito came from. 어디서 왔는지를 볼 거예요. It's a lot. I'm kind of spoiling a little bit, but yeah, it's Insanity's album, hence that's why I think I want to do my albums in a spectrum. So Mito is white. Oh, white 아직 white hasn't come out yet, but black, red, and it goes to white. But you have the sub stories. So so for example, if you have the main quest in a game, and then you have the side quests, I think all these side quest side EPs, I'm gonna make an off branch, but it's gonna still be part of the story. So it should be very interesting. 혹시 다 이해했나요?
마음으로 이해 중이에요.
아, 네. 근데 그러니까 저희가 되게 활동적이지 않잖아요. 근데 그게 이제 곧 바뀔 것 같아요. That's gonna change soon. So
너무 기대되는데?
one of the things that I wanted to change in DPR this year is I definitely wanted to be involved with a lot of events with fans, and I want to do a lot more together, if that makes sense, and want to give more content to the Dreamers. And I think this year we're setting that up. 그거를 준비하고 있는 과정이니까. 근데 이제 그 확실한 거는 what's certain is I think the type of content is going to be very different from other teams. 그러니까 되게 항상 이런 얘기를 하지만 그냥 좀 남다르게 좀 하지 않을까 저희가. 근데 이제 this album quite a bit, and like I said, it's gonna be a different branch off of the Mito verse, the Mito universe, and it's gonna be an introduction to the character of Insanity. And yeah, it's gonna be very, very fun.
Yeah.
Very fun. Lola, Head in the Clouds, LA again, and Sound Syndicate, yeah. And I think I have a few in Thailand and places like that. I think after this year, so starting from next year as well, I think I'm gonna do a lot more shows in Korea as well. In the Clouds, LA again, and she made this space for like Korean dreamers and a lot of international dreamers to kind of connect in this space. I think that's brilliant, because I think I haven't done a lot of shows in Korea. Well, I haven't done a lot of shows, period, other than tour. I think this year's like the first time we've kind of really started opening our doors to like shows, festivals, and stuff like that. And that's why I think during the midst of all these performances, I think preparing an album on top of that is definitely schedule-적으로 좀 it's 장난인데 it's crazy, but it's worth it.
오빠가 건강하게 했으면 좋겠어요.
그렇죠.
맞아요. 몸을 너무
It's gonna be really fun. I can't wait to show you what we have next. 다빈이도 이제 다비도 잠깐 just big stuff. 우리 팀도 늘어났고 it's just crazy. It's just a lot of things 와, 이번 연도 이 스케줄 보여주고 싶다. I really want to show you.
와,
I really want to show a timeline right now, a schedule, what we have in store. Man, if only. I'm such a like I can't like I can't wait. I like to like just spoil here and there, but the amount that I'm spoiling, it doesn't even come close to what it actually is. So it like frustrates me. 진짜. It's gonna be we're gonna start a series, a YouTube series. 약간 좀 넷플릭스처럼 약간 좀 시리즈적인 거를 할 거예요. 근데 그게 참 재미있겠죠? 약간
저희
진짜 the Korean concert 와 그거 진짜 prepare for the Korean show. 그래서 거의 반 죽어가면서 하긴 했는데 그거 그냥 딱 이제 사람들 앞에서 이제 에너지를 받고 그게 되더라고요. It's really
진짜
good.
예술
Yeah, I think the one of the big thing is the tour, the regime tour that we did. We didn't have I guess enough time or too much. I wasn't too much hands on with doing the production on that. It was amazing, by the way. It was so amazing, but I guess it wasn't really like what I would have like kind of done for our shows a lot. But Korea one was the one that I think me and my team kind of came together and really developed it, I guess, in our type of way, if that makes any sense. Which is probably why maybe a lot of you could kind of see like a little bit of difference. But I think from now on we're definitely going to try to coordinate a lot of our shows and give a lot more time to it, just like the ones that we did in Korea. Just because I think it's I think a lot of people will just like that so much more. I have a couple of ideas that I want to do for like the shows itself, like concerts. I think we might even. Oh shit! Am I allowed to say this now? I feel like I'm saying a lot of things that I shouldn't be saying. But hey, fuck it. Screw it. Like I said, a lot of things that we want to do in regards to how we make and coordinate shows. Yeah, it's just it's super exciting. 진짜 무슨 말을 해야 될지 모르겠네. 그 other side에서 사실 인세니티도 거기서 태어났고, 인세니티가 첫 자이에요, 사실 원래. 근데 인세니티 이 이야기를 다 풀어나가네. 그 인세니티가 근데 거기에서 이제 자기 심리적인 그 mind, it is a deep dive into, I guess, the character Insanity, Mr. Insanity. We don't really know too much about him other than he's the creator of actually this whole Mightyverse. But essentially, Insanity is also the very first creation of himself, of Ian. In the word insanity, you can pull out the letters IAN, which is why in the first Mighty movie you saw the text "Don't go insane." But the story pretty much I guess it. Man, I don't know how much I should say, but just briefly, it just shows you the process of how insanity became insanity, how Ian turned insane, and led him to create his first creation, Mitre. And and it didn't just end with that. He started creating different Ians in the image of himself. But the more he creates, the more insane he goes. So in this world that he's created, I'm going to show everyone, all the dreamers, what the other side looks like for the first time. 비주얼적으로. 그 other side가 한국말로 뭐지? 다른 okay, 한국말로는 I'm gonna give a glimpse into what the other side looks like. I'm sure you heard it in No Blueberries. I keep saying welcome to the other side. I keep saying welcome, but it's an actual world where Ian first came across in his consciousness, and it unlocked a whole new world. But with every trip, every journey, he went a little bit more insane after he brought things back with him from the other side. And like I said, that first being Mito and the very story that we know. So each thing or each creation that he creates, he puts a story to it. Mito obviously being the story of the fallen angel, but also being his first creation. It took a huge part of insanity, hence, which is why Mito is believed to be the most powerful, I guess, creation of insanity. And then in just like in part two, sorry, not part two, part one of the movie, we see Mito reflecting on his jealousy for insanity, all of insanity's other creations. Basically, like he liked to play favorites, and he got jealous, and jealousy turned into fury, and the betrayal of love, which is why it's red. And yeah, he kind of went to war with insanity. So insanity can't intervene. He can't just put an end to Mito. He has to. So through his creations, he has to come up with a way to fight against Mito. But Mito's mission is to, I guess, turn every Ian that insanity's created, like the one in So Beautiful, Scaredy Cat, Nerves, into a version of himself, not insanity. That's why in each of those music videos, it's actually insanity's creation of a story of an Ian, but Mito always comes in and infiltrates, infests, and intervenes and makes that Ian a version of himself. That's why in So Beautiful, he changes. No Blueberry changes, and it's so funny actually. No Blueberry is a timeline actually in the future. 이거 캐치 진짜 절대 이거는 I guess point in the storyline. There's a lot of things that I've made connections with, especially DPR Live's universe. DPR Live 세계관이랑 되게 엮이는 너무 하고 싶은데 얘기를 못 하겠어요. It's gonna be crazy. I think people don't know how twisted this gets into connecting everything. 근데 그건 확실히 말해줄게요. I'll say this for sure. Everything that we've put up from Is Anybody Out There to Mito, it's everything is connected somehow. I'll just say that. 모든 게 다 연결이 돼 있어요. 근데 그러니까 타임라인을 지금 아무도 정확하게 이렇게 할 수는 없는 이유가 있어요. But it's going to be crazy. Once everyone realizes how the timeline works, it's going to blow your minds. But as I was saying, so yes, this Insanity EP is essential to the Mido storyline. And as I was saying before, I think we might even be looking into turning this into like a comic, showing a lot of details and a lot of descriptions into the lore, the world, things that come out of the world, and 또 참고로 약간 팝업 같은 것도 많이 할 것 같고,
죄송해요. 제가 잘못
그래서 뭐 당연히 공연부터 해서 그러니까 많을 거예요. There's gonna be a lot more events, and you know, like later 나중에는 like later 저는 약간 이 세계관이 like later when this universe expands more, like after maybe more EPs, comics, and 이제 어느 정도 이제 팬들이 이제 이 세계관에 푹 빠져 있을 때 저는 약간 그거를 좀 그런 걸 만들고 싶어요. 약간 박물관 같은 것처럼 해서 그 세트들을
저희 이미
다시
빠져
네네.
있어요.
like just 그 MD 같은 경우도 like the merchandise 더 이제 그걸 디벨롭ing 더 하고 있어요. 그러니까 그냥 뭐 regime 뭐 그러니까 뭔가 디피아적인 거보다는 you know, like Mido MDs, 다비니's like is anybody out there MDs, 다비니 세계관도 진짜 펼치면 진짜 제 거보다 더 커요 심지어. 그래서 다비니도 Live's universe is huge, but we haven't tapped into that other than is anybody out there one. But I can for sure say, just like Mido is very real, Live also has his character development very soon. 그러니까 저희가 아는 this 근데 이거 진짜 너무 잘 만들으셨다.
저 하고 싶은 얘기 있는데요.
Dreamers and within our what we're doing, I've always wanted to do that. I feel like we've always missed our chance because we're so invested in creating, and we've kind of lost touch with what we really want to do for the Dreamers. So I'm slowly changing that, but at a fast rate. And like I said, there's going to be a lot more events, a lot more things that people could enjoy. You know, even if you're not into the DPR universe, we're just going to put out a lot of things for just people to relate to and enjoy and have fun. And you know, it's 진짜 약간 딱 그거였던 것 같아요. 제가 진짜 저희 거에 너무 덕후여가지고 그거를 어떻게 하면 사람들도 더 덕후로 만들지 이 생각을 하게 된 것 같고, I guess if they can relate to these characters that we create in this universe, and you know, and this expansively hopefully opens up new doors to how people perceive music, shows, cinematography. I think that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to expand the culture in a way where you know, it's not just going to your favorite hip-hop show or your favorite indie show. Even in the shows, we want to be inclusive of these I guess multiverse universe type of things, where you're going to go watch this new seasons. Like Cirque du Soleil, they have like a new season every time. Even if you don't know if there's a lore or not, you can still go and enjoy it because you know it's going to be intense, interesting, conceptual, because it's a circus. We want to be a lot more open in regards to having people come and watch this, even if you're not a fan, because you just know it's going to be interesting. I want to bring in the aspects that make Marvel movies so addictive. I want to bring in the liveliness of band music and musicals and theater, but then put a story to it. And now all of a sudden, so when you go see this show, it's like you're watching, for example, you get to see like Bruce Banner turn into the Incredible Hulk on stage. And, I think I want to give that experience to people where it's like, at the end of the day, these characters that you might so deeply fall into, at the end of the day, I think the underlying message is, I'm just like you. Like I'm not any different from everybody else. Mido's story is so essential because in a world, I feel like in an industry where a lot of people are trying to push perfection as a narrative, you have to look a certain part. You can't talk about certain mental health issues or struggles. But even if you do, I feel like some people put it in such a weird light. For me, I want to be as raw as possible, while giving it a very powerful character. I think that's what we need more of. I feel like showing that imperfect is perfect is letting people be very comfortable in their skin. And I think the way I'm trying to angle this multiverse of the DPR verse, it's showing these characters that struggle with actual real problems, but like they're like somewhat of a superhero in their realm, supernatural, whatever. But they struggle with just problems like everyone else struggles with, and that gets the best of them. So I want to do that. That's why I want to keep developing this story. You see a lot of it in shows in Netflix and movies. But man, I've always wished and I've always wanted to bring that experience closer to people, not just in movies. And, I want to immerse them into, that's why I wanted to do the exhibitions and later on, hopefully museums of these, recreate these sets, bring people in and show them what it's like. And, later on, I want this to expand to different creatives where they're like, oh, maybe I can create my whole world, my lore and everything based around my art, and it'll be okay. I think that speaks more volumes rather than me personally. I feel like that hits closer to anyone else's heart than rather than talking about or chambering things that everyone hears about all the time. And that's fine as well, but I feel like for me personally, that's what I felt was lacking a lot in terms of just what we need right now in this scene. I just feel like people are allowed, because when I was in Korea, I've realized people had a hard time being okay with letting themselves like open themselves like entirely up into their art, like being vulnerable is what I'm trying to say. But I feel like, man, if I show up with this character called Mido, and it for me it's super real, and it's super like more real than I think anyone can imagine. And and you see me like I have all these scars and all that shit, but for me it's like this is as real as it gets. Like I don't want to like censor anything. If anything, I'm not. I want to like show that if you come out with like scars and you've made it out to the other end, I feel like you've survived. It's that's why I call them battle scars. But it's just it's something that everyone just struggles with anyway internally, and I feel like not enough. Once someone like that goes on the podium, it's either very it's hard to it's hard to acknowledge someone like that, or vice versa. Someone like that usually gets very, I guess, they become less confident more as more and more time goes on because of just pressure, people saying things to them and whatnot. But for me, I'm like, fuck that, man. For me, I just want to be me, but through that, why not show these versions of me in a more empowering way? At the end of the day, the storyline of the fallen angel Mido, he's going back up to the light, but I can only release Mido 3 when I am personally able to go into the light. So that's why it's real. It's like it's as real as it gets. If I'm not ready to let myself be enlightened from this character, um, then I can't put out Mido 3 yet. So it's again, I'm just putting it all out there. That is the direction that I'm trying to take DPR, and hopefully, and obviously, I'm going to be open to. It starts with me live, Cream, and all that, but it doesn't end with us. So after our run, yes, I am definitely going to pick up new artists. I am going to make their worlds because they are going to be allowed to do that, if that makes sense. I want to encourage that. I want to encourage people to really just tell everyone if they want to do art, if they want to share, if it's something about pushing the culture, then yeah, it starts with you. It doesn't start with a certain trend that you have to feel obliged to follow or pressured to. Because if you don't do that, there's no other way to get the mass audiences to listen to you. It's so stimulating these days. Things. If you just go on like Reels or YouTube and you see these shorts, everyone's like putting stuff in everyone's face. Like you're walking down the street and everyone's like, "Hey man, what are you listening to? Or would you choose this or this, or like what would you do?" Like it's such a stimulating. Like everything's turning into such a stimulating role that I feel like it's so easy to lose yourself, and for me, it would be so detrimental to see just music, art, self-expression turn its toll into a way where everyone's like, oh, just echo chambering everything else because it's like it gets views and it gets like some type of cloud and it gets it's hard to see that, I guess. For me, times are changing. I accept it. I get it. But that doesn't mean I can't put my hand into it and be like, hey man, why don't we try doing something like this? So yeah, I mean, I just kind of went on a rant there, but for me, that's why I think DPR's movement, in terms of how we're trying to do this, it's more than just our culture. It's more than just trying to pioneer what we're doing for just music. I want to do something for, I guess, people, if that makes sense, as future artists, whether that be painters, ballet dancers, just anything in general. Really, it doesn't really matter what you're doing. For me, it's really important. Like, it's just so much. It's big. It's so much bigger than just me. It's so, and Live knows it too. He knows it's so much bigger than him. It's bigger than any of us in DPR. I feel like the future is with the dreamers. That's why we always say, like, without you guys, it's just none of this is possible. Like, none of this. It's not just impossible. It's just, it doesn't make sense. Like, there's no reason for us to be doing this. Because like, it's not like we conform to a life where it's like we go out and we have fun, and even though I'm trying to do that a lot these days, but a little hard to do. But for me, it's I got to get this universe, this DPR verse down first. I need to immerse you guys, at least to the point where I think it's okay for me to kind of be like, oh, just kick back a little bit. Sorry, that's my dog, Lori.
We miss Lori.
So yeah, that's 그거 나중에 한국말 해석이 어떻게 되는지 모르겠지만, 그게 저는 어쨌든 너무나 중요한, find ways to update fans. I want to open our doors. I want to show. I don't want to gatekeep anything. I just want to show. I want to tell people how we do it. It's absolutely important. So yeah, I'll leave it here. Just know, new album coming soon. You're gonna see a lot. This is just the beginning. I always say that, but I swear to God, this is just the beginning. This universe is just gonna be a lot bigger than you think, and we are going to find ways to bring that to you. A lot of different ways. So yeah, just 진짜, because I guess it's we don't really, what I realized going on tour, I realized, man, we don't get out too much. Like, that's the first thing. And then I think I always say this in every interview, but my favorite part of the tour, obviously being on stage and all that, is great, but it's always after the shows where I get like a brief second or a couple of minutes in to listen to like you guys, so like whether that be on the way to the bus, or if I run into someone randomly, and just like what you said, what it does for them. I think for me that makes everything worth it. I think that's like kind of the reason why we do this, and I think that was my favorite part about going on tour. And that just kind of opened up a lot of ideas for us into how we want to be more inclusive and be more present with what we do to everyone. So I want to kind of open up a lot more of what we do and things like that, because I know we haven't really been too active in terms of that. So we expanded our team. We've got more people now to help with that, and I think it's gonna launch a lot of new contents, a lot of new information into the law, and vice versa. I kind of want to say thank you to you and everyone out there for keeping this alive, because for us it's like we never imagined it to get this big, honestly. We would just, we would be even just satisfied just having changed just even one person's life for the better through what we do. And I know that's why at times we don't really, it's not really like, man, we're trying to like get famous, we're trying to like, man, we're trying to get money, and it was never about that. It just, for us, none of us, the one great thing about our team is like no one's like that. No one is like that. Like for me, for the first 8 years of developing DPR, like I just like I found even up to like not, I don't know, I want to say not too long ago, but I would still struggle to find I'll sometimes have no money to eat. Like like, just to be completely real, even during the development of DPR, like even 8 years into DPR, I had barely any money. So for me, I just never pried on that, and I think it's forever going to be that, because everything that comes in, it's like, man, now we can elevate this experience more and more and more, and now I have like a bigger dream of wanting to create bigger productions and these exhibitions, pop-ups, and these a lot of new lines for these new merchandise lines, and oh man, I want to just put so much more into our shows. So then when you guys come and watch it, and just I don't only want it to blow you guys away, but I want you guys to leave with something, that can potentially, I don't know, influence you or change you to do something with what you want to do. So I think that's kind of like our goal here, and through Mito and Insanity now, which is like, I'm not sure if some people heard, but this next EP, yes, is indeed about the deep dive into Insanity's world. And if you thought Mito's world was hectic or crazy, wait till you see the creator of Mito's world. So that should be fun, and I won't spoil too much, but I'll leave it here. But thank you so much, and like I said, 너무 고맙고요. Thank you so much. Like, we're in it
Thank you.
together, Dreamers and us. I think we're one. So this is a journey together. I feel like for sure this is our journey together, and for me, I'm gonna do this forever. So thank you so much for being part of it. Like I said before, this is all for you guys. So I think now's the time to really show that. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Thank you so
But I
much.
just want to say,
And like, feels that it's crazy to me. I know that's what we're trying to do, but hearing that, it gives us a lot more assurance. So thank you so much. It means the world.
yeah,
I feel like there's no other way to do it for us. There's no other way, but I appreciate that. I appreciate that everyone like feels that. It's crazy to me. I know that's what we're trying to do, but okay. 알겠어요. 저 진짜
네.
잠깐만요.
로리 사진 한
저 이거
밥 잘
한번
챙겨
줄까요?
먹어요.
네네네.
밥 잘 챙겨 드세요.
oh my god, thank you. It's spoiler.
네, 아무튼 여기까지 할게요. 바이.
와.